I spoke with a ghost expert, Steve Gonsalves. We spoke openly about a week ago. I admitted to being not just a believer, but actually the host of many ghosts. That I really was called to this force in South Charlotte, North Carolina, to write as it was being received. He didn't disagree, and he did offer an explanation as to why I hear music when there are no digital devices anywhere near me turned on. He explained that it's frequencies. Humans can pick up on moving frequencies like that of a radio or a Bluetooth. I laugh at this because I've become lazy with my listening habits, tuning more into my moments than spending time eavesdropping in other people's drama. Does it make me hard of hearing? I'm not sure that's true. Mainly because I can hear the slightest sounds several feet away that others cannot. Could it be selective hearing? Or is it I'm tuned into the ghosts that walk beside me, behind me, in front of me, around me? The frequencies. Hey, it's Arrow. This is the Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. I listen to the frequencies. What do you listen to? Is it always your favorite song? Do you ever just take a walk? My God, I was just with one of the members of the group Corrupted Hearts, and he told me about a song that they've just released, which is called I Dug a Ditch and I Laid Down. I want you to think about that for a moment. I mean, Bradley really got into this, and he said, when I laid down in that physical hole 14 feet below the surface of the earth, he said, it changed my life. It was so silent. And he says, don't try this at home. It's very dangerous. But things like that do change your life, and that's what it's like to be our individual selves. Listening, appearing, activating, becoming a part of, replenishing. This is the Daily Mess. I'm going to bring up a subject here that we all know about because our parents have driven it deep inside our head, like that of a ditch that Brad was in from Corrupted Hearts. The development of common sense. We all know what that is, right? The development of common sense. We think it's a human thing. Not so much. Between 1775 and 1776, a gentleman by the name of Thomas Paine penned out a 47-page pamphlet called Common Sense. Its purpose was to advocate the independence from Great Britain to the people of the 13 colonies. The goal was to inspire Americans to go beyond resisting the British. Common sense. It was written in a language for all people. Yes, the Bible was used. He felt most people at that time knew the stories of the Bible, so he used it as a tool. Common sense. In today's world, we think it deals with how we act and react, good judgment. Yet, a 47-page document before our nation set itself free was changing people's outlooks of how they could really put themselves into the moment. I had to have been absent in history class that day because I've never heard of this until today. I went onto Google and I typed in common sense. I had no clue that this thing even existed. Why haven't we heard of this dude by the name of Thomas Paine? And could his 47-page pamphlet be worked into our political nightmare today? Common sense for the 13 colonies. Its purpose was to advocate the independence from Great Britain. This is the kind of thing that really gets underneath my skin because we have lived that moment of now, and somehow, some way, that moment is forgotten. This is why I ask you to write. There's going to be family members way ahead of your time on the planet that are going to sit there and say, what was it like? For instance, like the Dobrins family came from Germany. That's all I know about my grandparents, my mother's parents. I don't know anything about my grandpa Dobrins' father and the father before that and the father before that. Sure, I could go to one of these websites, these ancestor websites. But you know what? The physical identity is what we all need. And putting it on a piece of paper because a computer or an AI has designed it, does it make it the truth? Do you believe in it? Or do you rely on the stories that your mother shared with you, your father, anybody else in the family, the photographs? But when we look at a photograph, we sit there and make up our own interpretation. Jot down some notes. Dear future reader. Who knows? Your common sense today can change someone's life tomorrow. I'm Arrow, and that's the Daily Mess.